So if you're in tech, you've probably heard of the AWS SAA-C03 certification. A lot of people see these exams as just a way to add another line to their LinkedIn profile, but it seems this one is different. It's not just a walk in the park, and it's definitely not about memorizing a bunch of terms to pass a test.
Right, and that's really the most important thing to understand. AWS has fundamentally changed the game with this exam. It's no longer a test of what you can remember, it's a test of what you can actually do. You can't just cram a glossary of services and expect to pass. They've redesigned it to focus entirely on real-world scenarios. It's become less of a diploma and more like a driver's license for the cloud. It proves you can actually handle the machinery in real traffic.
I see. So it's a higher bar to clear. If it's not about memorizing terms, what exactly are the core pillars of the cloud that AWS is actually testing you on?
It breaks down into four main domains. You have designing resilient architectures, which is all about building systems that don't crash. Then there's designing high-performing architectures, which is about speed and efficiency. And finally, you have the guardrails, security and cost optimization.
That makes sense. Resiliency and performance sound like the heavy hitters. Things like using auto-scaling to handle traffic spikes or DynamoDB for fast databases. But security and cost optimization seem just as critical for any business.
Exactly, and I think the cost optimization piece is often the most underrated. AWS is literally testing to see if you can save the company money. It's not just about can it work, it's can it work without breaking the bank? Knowing how to use things like savings plans or spot instances is now a core technical skill, not just a business concern.
Interesting. So they're looking for architects who think like business owners.
You got it. And there's a fascinating link there. For example, if you design for resiliency using something like auto scaling, you're also setting yourself up for cost optimization. You're only paying for the extra compute power during those traffic spikes, and then it scales back down. In the cloud, efficiency and reliability aren't enemies, they're actually partners.
That's a great point. Better design actually leads to better margins. But knowing these domains is one thing. Actually passing the exam is another. How do you actually prepare for something this comprehensive?
It's a divide and conquer strategy. You focus on one domain per week, but reading alone is not enough. The key is to get your hands dirty. You need to open an AWS free tier account and actually build things. Launch an EC2 instance, configure an S3 bucket. It's the difference between reading a manual about a car and actually sitting in the driver's seat.
So it's about moving from theory to practice. And I saw the guide mentions using mock exams from providers like Spoto or Cert Empire.
Absolutely. And I can't stress the hands-on part enough. You can read about an elastic load balancer all day, but until you actually configure one and see it distribute traffic, it's just an abstract concept. The mock exams are the final polish. They're not just for grading yourself, they teach you how to spot the tricky way AWS phrases questions, which is a skill in itself.
So it's about building that muscle memory in the console. It sounds like a lot of work, but the payoff for your career seems more than worth the effort. To wrap this up, what are the absolute key things people should take away from this?
First, remember it's a solution-centric exam. It tests your ability to solve real-world business problems, not just your memory. Second, focus your study time on the heavy domains, resilient and high-performing architectures, because that's where most of the questions are. Third, treat cost as a core competency. AWS expects you to be financially savvy. And finally, practice beats theory every time. Hands-on experience with the AWS free tier and using mock exams is far more effective than just reading.